The Scottish Grand National. For 168 years, this national hunt steeplechase has regaled crowds in the west of Scotland. Beginning in 1858, the original Renfrewshire racecourse used mostly stone walls for jumps. The race was moved to Ayrshire in 1867 and was held in Irvine until 1965, where it relocated here to its modern home in Ayr at Ayr Racecourse. And they couldn't have chosen a better town, whose famous bard fair loved his horses. Wheel mounted on his grey mare Meg, a better never lifted leg. Tam skelpit on through dub and mire, despising wind and rain and fire. Crowds of up to 40,000 over the weekend will enjoy the entertainment, first-class facilities, fine dining, and of course, the champagne lawns. This year, on the 18th of April, 21 thoroughbreds will take on the challenging 4-mile trial. The 6,397-metre track exceeds the height of Mount Kilimanjaro. 27 fences approaching 5 feet require horses and jockeys of the highest calibre. Ayr Racecourse have kindly welcomed the students of Ayrshire College to cover this year's festival. We walked the track. Look out for poop. We tested the fences. We crossed the finish line. We checked out the paddock. And we had a break. Then we spotted a celebrity. We asked Ayrshire's own Scottish racing institution, Jim Delahunt, if he'd share his experiences of the race and his expectations for this year.
Well, I was actually born locally, just up the road in Saltcoats, and I first started coming to the Scottish Grand National when I was 16, back in 1978. My grandfather took me along for the first time. I do remember it was won by a horse called King Con, trained by a guy called Geordie Reynolson, and that really got me hooked. I'd only been to the racing once before that time, and I pretty much not missed too many Scottish Grand Nationals in between.
So what is Jim's best memory of this great event?
Well, I've got some absolutely fantastic racing memories of the Scottish Grand National, but I think the best one financially, I think, was 2004 when a horse called Grey Abbey won the race. But not only did I bet Grey Abbey, I also backed the runner-up, which was trained by a very young Lucinda Russell at the time. She, of course, has gone on to win 2 Grand Nationals at Aintree. And when I went to pick up my exacta money from the tote, the lady said in front of everybody in the queue behind me, "I'm going to have to get some more money." That probably sounds as if it was thousands. It was actually about 900 quid, but they were absolutely out of money. And I was just delighted to turn to the guy behind me and say, "She's off to get some more money to pay me out."
And so the first day of the festival finally arrives. And while the crowds arrive in their droves, of course, Lewis is late and last off the train. Young'uns today. Well, we joined the grounds team setting up the turf and the fences for the first day of the festival, which is, of course, Ladies' Day. So we got our equipment together and soaked up some of the atmosphere. Then we headed off to the owner's parade ring. And then the punter's parade ring. And that's Jim in the background doing the day's commentary. Here we are setting up in the press box, and Lewis getting the camera going. And then the racing begins. And we forgot to turn on mic number 2. Ah, this is just embarrassing now. Always check both mics. Ah, that's better. So when it's all over, of course, the cleanup begins. And we lent a hand. Well, we filmed. That's kind of lending a hand, right? After all that hard work, we headed into the lovely Western House Hotel, where stands a tribute to the greatest racehorse of all time. 7 horses have won both the English and Scottish Grand Nationals, but there's only ever been one horse to win it at Aintree and Ayr in the same year, the legendary Red Rum in 1974. Does Jim think that can be repeated this year, or indeed ever again?
Well, when Red Rum came to Ayr in 1974, he was already a dual Grand National winner at Aintree. He'd won famously in 1973 when Crisp and Richard Pittman looked as if they were going to win, and Red Rum came and pipped him on the post. He'd then gone back to Aintree 12 months later and won the race again. And then, against his jockey Brian Fletcher's better judgment, or so it seemed at the time, Connections, the trainer and the owner, decided they wanted to come to Ayr to try and do a double which had never been done before, the Aintree and Scottish Grand National. So Red Rum did appear at Ayr. Back then it was 3 weeks after the Aintree Grand National, and he duly won. And no horse has managed to do that since, and it's going to be very unusual if we even get a chance for that to happen again, because the races are so close together now. There's only a week between the races either side. It was a fantastic feat back in 1974, but I doubt very much that we'll ever see their likes again.
So that's us from Ayr Racecourse until September, when the Gold Cup arrives. Unfortunately, I couldn't convince Lewis to cover that tank top, but we had a great time. So the course and stands are empty for now, but they'll be filling up plenty of times throughout the year, especially during the World Cup, where there will be race nights and viewings of every single match. That's it from us at Ayrshire College. We'll be back with more from this great town here on ACTV's YouTube channel. And they're off.